To me all the time, just to hear me whine.
Oh boy.
Neurotic to whatever.
Is that band Blink? 182. It's some Fred Durst.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted to hear.
97 seconds.
Bays Boys Podcast.
Everything you need. Listen,
we're back.
The average public, the average public's pool has 75 liters of urine in it. And you know what? We want liters to be more European.
Why?
To be more European.
Oh, is that why it's measured in liters?
Right.
Or is it because it's easier to do volume in liters?
Or fancy.
It's more fancy.
Either way, public pool, 75 liters. What do you think?
Well, I 100% believe that. That's why I said never go to a swim up bar, bro.
What are we going to do when we travel?
Not go to a swim up bar.
So we just don't go to. What if we purposely go there to pee?
No, I'm not down with that either.
Oh, okay. So what are we going to do when we travel?
Go to a pool that has a swim up bar and watch the bar. Watch how many people get up to go piss.
Never.
They never leave those fucking seats.
Right. Well, they don't want to lose them.
They're just
underwater seats are hard to find, especially to the Titanic.
No, we're still on that.
We're on that already.
Yeah,
it's going to be a few weeks before we let that one go.
Yeah, you got to let that one go.
That one's going to get.
There are plenty. By the way, there are plenty of seats available on that.
Oh. Well, I heard they've reconstructed into a more open type vessel.
Oh wow!
Leaves a lot of room.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a whole lot of urine down there. So I mean, that might be a safe place to go.
Oh. Just a lot of mush, huh?
Oh God! Oh,
could you imagine?
What, a swim up bar?
No, I'm just saying you didn't notice that things were going wrong when water started poking through and such.
No, that didn't even happen. It just exploded.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
there was no little leak.
I'm just
like
saying,
the Dutch boy in the dam. Stick your finger in the hole. That didn't even happen.
I was hoping somebody put their Kangol hat in it or something and try to stop that motherfucker.
No, that didn't even happen like that.
Huh?
No.
All right, take us left.
Well, I don't know. Let's talk about that movie we just watched.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. So you tell me what you thought of that movie.
Well, why don't you tell them what the movie was?
It was a movie about a podcaster. Okay, so wait. Are we giving away spoilers? Because I really don't know how to talk about a movie without giving away spoilers.
We watched a movie called Vengeance.
All right, spoiler alert, it's happening. Was that movie called Vengeance?
It was called Vengeance.
Did I watch the right movie?
Yeah, I hope so. Because this is not going to make any sense if you didn't watch the same one.
So the movie's about a guy from New York
who wants to start a podcast.
Who gets told by another famous person that he needs an at-home story.
That people can relate to. Right.
And he gets a phone call.
In the middle of the night.
From somebody who's a family member to a broad he hooked up with.
Right. In the middle of the night, he's in bed with another girl because he's a serial dater, if you will.
Well, I mean, it's that's dating. He's just banging broads off apps.
Okay.
That's dating today.
Okay.
Right? That's what they do.
Right. So he's got somebody in bed with him in the middle of the night, gets a phone call.
From a person who basically thinks he's a significant other to this deceased sister.
It says, your girlfriend just died.
Right. And convinces him to go down to the great state of Texas.
For the funeral.
And hang out for the funeral.
For a girl he'd only hooked up with a couple of times.
A few times. Right.
And he decides that he's going to make this his podcast.
Right. And then, of course, there's a story behind the rest of it. And we can't go into more of that part because we don't want to give it away. But what did you think of it?
I thought it was a great movie. So,
okay.
Number one, I'm really disappointed we never got that sage advice before we started this program.
We needed a story?
That we needed a story.
Right. Which is kind of true, kind of not. I wanted to talk about this kind of stuff anyways, because I've wanted to go over this for a while. How weird is it that radio shows recorded are just called podcasts?
When did it start?
Because, that's what I'm saying. Podcasts didn't start before radio.
So would you say, who's the biggest radio show? Who's the biggest radio show there ever was?
I don't know. But we're basically on tape, we are.
Yeah. What's his face with the crazy hair?
Stern?
Yeah. Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Would you consider his show to be a podcast, or would you consider his show to just be a radio show?
So
He was all about shock.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not talking about content. I'm just talking about format in general. We went from being on the radio to having tapes and recordings of stuff, and then to now where people record their show, and then they release it for people to listen to. So basically, we've come this full circle of, we went from people wanted video all the time, and they still do, which is why Instagram has switched to Reels.
Right.
And it's just weird to me. It's weird to me. It's still a thing. Like, radio has never gone away. Now you pay for radio. In fact, some people pay multiple subscriptions to have different radios.
Oh, for XM radio and all that other stuff.
XM,
so they can have
Spotify.
So they can have uninterrupted pre-programmed music.
Right. What do you think of that? But I mean,
I think it's trash.
Isn't it crazy that's where, you know, I clicked on one of those links today, and it was, or on the pre-radio, whatever radio, and it was like, listen to your forgotten list, right? Dude, it was songs from like 6 months ago. I'm like, that's not a forgotten list, bro.
No,
that was on the playlist a couple months ago.
But see, some of my favorite radio shows were just DJs who played whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. And it was like Russian roulette radio, right?
Right.
And that was the exciting part, because you never knew what they were going to play.
So that's a cool, dude, if that would be cool for us to be able to do. Right? To be able to sit here and be like, all right, enjoy this such and such song, and then, you know,
just play whatever the song is.
And I'm fully aware that we can't do that kind of thing and whatever. And that is where it is different than radio. But is nobody thinks it's fucking crazy that now people just consumes hours and hours of people sitting around talking and bullshitting?
Well, it's uninterrupted.
Excuse me.
You don't have commercials.
We have commercials. No, I'm joking. We very rarely do. I mean, without commercials though, even just the format, it hasn't left. People just want to hear people talk about stuff.
Right. But they talked about this in that movie, right?
Right.
America wants what?
A story.
A story.
And I get that. A compelling story. We bring you fucked up stories all the time. But what I thought was interesting though was when the girl told him that, he was like, look, this is going to be the whole podcast story right here. So how does that work?
Think about This American Life on NPR.
I have no idea what that is.
It's pretty much what that movie was, right? It's a guy doing serial stories, right? Where it's like a very long episode about a certain topic or a certain town or a certain individual, right? It's a compelling story. Why do people watch true crime TV?
No, I get that. But him making the story that was his story, right? This is the story. I'm down here for this funeral for this woman, blah, 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 blah. It's like, where do you go from there?
You tell the story.
And then what, though?
And
is the podcast over?
Then he does another story.
Oh, okay. Well, we do 500 stories an episode. So fuck that guy. Catch up.
Catch up. You're behind the power curve, my man.
Do they want more detailed stories? I mean, is that what people are looking for in a podcast? You know, for me and you, I don't think we listen to podcasts, do we?
I used to listen to one called The Moth.
Now, how's a podcast different than a TV show that we're watching? Because other than, again, you're not watching it, which...
You can listen and do anything else. You can multitask.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with TV.
Yeah, that's true. But like, look at the Sean Ryan show, right? His is called The Sean Ryan Show. Is it a podcast or is it a TV show? Or is it both?
It's a combination.
No. There you go then.
Or it's a vodcast.
So then
it's
are we...
vodcast.
Oh, okay. So that's fancy. So are we radio stars? Or are we podcast guys?
Video killed the radio star.
Yeah, something's going on here. Either way, so the guy comes up with this idea. See, that's what I don't understand, though, because once that story's over, now what do?
You produce another one. You come up with another great story to tell.
That's it. You just gotta... Well, okay, here's the other thing, too. Did you notice how he was cutting his podcast?
No, I didn't notice that.
So they're cutting their podcasts like movies. They want the edits in there. They want the music shit. They want the commercials. They want all of this.
But that's how you capture people.
Production value. No, it is, I guess. So should we do that? We should have these cool edits where it's all these different people talking about whatever and start record. No, I'm not saying we're going to, but I'm just saying like it's a different format.
I bet people would be shocked if we came out with an episode like that.
Oh, come on. That format of a podcast, though, it's not a fucking podcast anymore. If you go out and plan, record, and then dice up and edit everything, how is that an open conversation?
Oh, so that's what you want.
I'm trying not. That's what I'm trying.
Is that
to
why you say we're more like the news?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because we do the daily stuff. So when we record our stuff, it's like, hey, this is what happened this week. You
It's
know,
fresh.
even with the Titanic,
It's fresh.
we're as fresh can be. We're like, it's like you pulled us right out of the water,
Oh,
except for not in their case. So
Jesus.
that's my fucking. That's all. I was just curious about it. You know, because our motto here has always been whatever, whenever.
Whatever,
However.
whenever. I mean, however.
Right. And we've gone places and gotten stories, but we didn't go through all the trouble of editing a bunch of fucking. Maybe we should have.
Because we're not professional.
Ooh. Yeah, but our show's not supposed to be like that. If I'm gonna go through to do all that work, you know what I say about it. We're making movies. I'm not fucking going through all that work just to have a conversation. That's ridiculous. That's so much like, to me, it's not a podcast anymore, and it's not a conversation. It's a fucking movie. You went through all this trouble to cut, line, sequence, and stage everything. I don't know. I thought,
But
it was
that's how
interesting.
NPR does it.
Are they NPR in that movie?
It's yeah, I think it's tied into some national broadcasting system.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's boring, man. I'm more of a fan of the shows of dudes sitting around doing what we're doing, which is why I do this. You know, that's a style I like.
And what exactly is it that we do?
Nothing. We're just going to make fun of motherfuckers who didn't pass 9th grade science, but somehow got millions of dollars because they didn't know that you can't go 14,000 fucking leagues under the sea with your shitty Home Depot bathtub.
But Jules Verne did.
Okay. Sure. Mm-hmm. And we're looking for the land of the fucking dwarfs too, so we can get us some dragon gold. You know, while we're at it, we got a better fucking chance of getting that whale vomit from the ocean we haven't been visiting than we do getting to the goddamn Titanic and that fucking piece of crap.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah, yeah. But back to what we were saying. Let's get back on the movie. The movie's fucking wild.
It's a great movie.
Dude, listen. First of all,
let's say you were in bed. Let's say you were in bed.
This is something I have experience with, so it's kind of like this whole fucking thing is.
So do tell. So there you are asleep in bed. You get a phone call.
Just the funeral part, the fact that this dude had the balls to show up
To a funeral for a girl he's only hooked up with, but the family 100% believes
Come on, bro.
their boyfriend and girlfriend.
Now, we're not going to give any spoilers, but I don't give a fuck. If you called me, I don't think I could show up and pretend.
That takes balls.
I don't think it does. I think it.
He did it for the story.
Right. I mean, he did it for himself.
100%.
Right? Like, I think old boy was down there. I think old boy had nothing going for him. There was no, like, I'm going down to comfort these people. There was none of that. You know, and again, we won't give the answer, but he does end up down there looking to solve a murder.
Yes.
And again, that part,
An alleged murder.
Right, an alleged murder. That's the part that gets me, because now I'm looking at it like, hey, you're not down here for a funeral. You're looking for a product to sell.
And that's what he was there for.
And that's what he was doing. He's mailing these parts back every day. He's mailing these segments back, you know, that somebody's cutting into this big fat fucking thing. Now we could do an you know, not to get away from the movie itself, but again, you'd be writing like a movie almost, essentially, is how I see those particular podcasts.
But you would need a story in order to do that.
1,000%.
If you didn't have a solid story, it wouldn't work.
Right. 1,000%. I just thought it was weird. I thought the whole thing was weird. And the awkwardness of, dude, I met a girl offline once and met her parents in the same week. Like in the same day.
Oh.
Yeah, legit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was young when I was running with all that stuff. So there were some times when it was, you know, hey, I might have to get a ride from somebody and it might be my parents.
I got you beat. I got you beat.
You met a girl and her parents off?
Not in the same day. No, it gets better than that.
Okay.
So I'm living off the coastal United States, and I meet a girl on vacation.
Perfect.
She and I have an incredible couple of nights.
Uh-huh.
And a couple months, stay in contact with each other. A couple months later, she's like, you should come visit. I'm back from what I was doing. You should come visit me. So I fly 5 hours.
Okay.
Back to the continental U.S. to stay with this girl. But this girl was staying with her parents.
Ooh, perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
So now she's like, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend.
Perfect.
She's only home for a week. I'm staying with her and her parents in their house for a week.
Perfect.
I don't have a return ticket for a week.
That's awesome.
The closest person I have to a rescue is 3.5 hours away.
Yep. Perfect.
Never spent a week with this girl. Spent 3 nights. If things go south, I'm stuck in a state with no transportation, 3 hours from the closest airport.
Right.
I mean, that takes a lot of gumption, right? I mean, yes, I never met her parents, but now I'm meeting her parents for the first time, and I'm staying in her bedroom, which her parents weren't too keen on.
So the people that I met, the girl that I met offline with her parents, the day that I met her was when I was going back to move in with them.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
So you met a girl and moved in with her and her parents a week later.
I knew her for a few years online before I moved in with her. Yeah.
But you hadn't met her in person.
No, sir.
And you moved in.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
liking that whole fuck around and find out life.
Dude.
Oh, yeah. I like to find out.
Oh, and here's the best part.
Yeah.
So her dad is a prison guard.
Ooh.
At a juvenile detention facility.
Nice. Perfect.
Right? And we're all sitting in the living room. I'm sitting next to her on the couch. Her parents are sitting across from us or around us in the living room. We're talking, and we've got a blanket across our laps, and she's deciding to get a little hanky-panky underneath the blanket in front of the parents.
She's trying to get you killed.
Bro.
Yeah. That's unsafe.
Yeah, you telling me, and I'm stuck 3 hours away from the closest airport in an escape.
Yeah.
And an escape.
Yeah, that's unsafe.
That's unsafe. Is that a good story?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think, you know what I think too? That I've learned?
How far would you travel to meet somebody?
The question is, how far have I not traveled, my friend? That's the real question. You're asking the wrong questions. We're going in the wrong direction here, but I can promise you it's plane tickets and layovers.
Tickets and layovers to move in with somebody that you've only known online.
That's right, baby. That's right.
That's a great adventure.
That was when I lived in that ghetto for a little bit. I told you about that.
That's a great adventure.
It was a pretty good adventure, right up until it wasn't. That's all that matters. Walking to work an hour and a half on the freeway is never fun.
Did you not get stopped by Stadies?
Nobody cared where I was, trust me.
That you were walking down the freeway?
I did get stopped once, and they told me I wasn't allowed to walk through those projects, that I had to walk all the way around, and I was like, okay, thank you. And that was it. Yeah. So, being silly, man. Being silly. We all had to go somewhere, right?
Would you fly across the country?
I have already.
Never mind.
That
defeats the goddamn question.
There's no, yeah.
What if you had been catfished?
That's not possible.
What was your escape plan?
That's not possible.
What was your escape plan?
No, there's no.
I didn't have one myself. And then looking back in hindsight, what the fuck was my problem, right?
So
what if I'd shown up and the parents were like, "You can't stay here, motherfucker." I only had money for a plane ticket there and back,
right?
And like enough for a couple Burger King meals,
right
for that entire week.
What's worse is what if?
And I also didn't have enough money.
What if she would have had a surprise in the barn for you?
Right,
That's the real question.
I also didn't have enough money for the 3-hour car ride Like they did, this is before Uber.
Right.
You gonna take a taxi for 3 hours? What's that cost?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Living in the middle of nowhere with people that are scary. People that are crazy. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean,
the coolest.
You want to talk about podcast stories?
I had
right?
like a whole month where I was eating. I told you this. I had like a whole month where I was eating popsicles for dinner, for like majority of my food for the day. That was how that life was. So
let me tell you how I met her. I was in a hotel.
Perfect.
I was on the balcony with my buddies. We were partying.
Perfect.
Across the swimming pool, there's another tower. They're on their balcony. It's a bunch of young ladies, right? And we start shouting back and forth.
The perfect setup.
And they're like, why don't you come on over?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we all go up. We come down, go across the pool, go up to the other tower, go up to the room, and we're hanging out. Everything's great. We're on the balcony, and they're like, hey, you got somebody for a friend?
Oh, perfect. And you were like, I do. His name's Joe.
No, and I look inside the hotel room because this person had been in the bathroom by the time we got to the balcony and the curtains were closed and we're all hanging out on the balcony. And I look in and this person would have been a challenge to find somebody.
Perfect.
For them.
Give him the pony boy.
And I said, hold on a second. Let me see what I can do for you. So we look across the pool to the other place we just come from. And one of our other buddies was on the balcony. I'm like, hey, what? I'm like, come on over, room 402. There's a bunch of girls up here who want to party. There's one waiting for you in the room. I'll be right over.
Oh, my.
Dude comes over.
Room's
quiet. I hear on the glass door, open up the sliding door. And all I heard is, you're fucked up, bro. You're fucked up, bro.
That was that, huh?
And hey, we hung out, you know, and
those are the worst ones.
One night turned into a couple of nights hanging out.
Oof.
Turns out that these ladies were out on vacation after a certain pivotal moment of graduation, if you will.
Oh, that's why it was all crazy right there. If you'd have just said that, you'd have been fine.
Yeah, it was a graduation.
And you wonder why.
Graduation trip. But again,
she tried to marry you by the end of that 5-day course, because that's where that sounds like this is going. Did you end up at the chapel? Was there talk?
Not on that trip.
Was there?
Not on that trip.
But there was a chapel visit with this same specimen, and
no, this same person was talking about, hey, we should get married. I'm like, hey, I'm in my young 20s. No.
Yeah. I just got my paycheck. I can't spend it all, they said. Fuck. Nah, I'm good on that, bro. No,
I can't afford to buy McDonald's. I don't think I make good husband material.
Yeah. I got some cupcakes for dinner. Do you want the left one or the right one? That's fuck that noise. Crazy broads are the best, though. They're trying to fuck your day up.
But again, I decided to take a 5-hour plane ride to go someplace and drive 3 hours.
For a piece of ass, that ain't nothing.
And it's not nothing. Listen, they picked me up too.
Listen, bike your ass a couple of cities over. Okay? Get on that fucking 20-inch, put some miles in it.
Oh,
when you get there, you got to run into the bathroom and clean all the holes and shit because you're smelly from the bike ride type shit. That's when it's really bad.
That's when it's really bad.
That's bad.
And then hide out on the beach for 5 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
After you pull the ripcord to pull away, you cut out.
You're like, those are some messes, man.
I gotta bail.
Girls are the start of everything bad. I'll tell you what. Tell me I'm wrong. We get you to do some stupid shit. I can't say
I did not fly. Well, in theory, if you'd taken that plane flight and moved it to the continental U.S., it'd probably damn near across the country. That's how far it was.
Right.
But at least have some money in your bank account in case you get a bail.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah.
Nobody, we don't plan that far ahead.
Listen, I will say this.
Stuff I lost from that trip alone, from having to pull the ripcord in the middle of the night and not realizing all my loot wasn't in one spot.
Well,
it's horrible.
I have another great story.
Uh-oh.
Friend of mine falls madly in love with an exchange student.
Uh-oh.
The exchange student's like, you should come home with me. I love you. So my man's like, fuck it. Sells everything he owns.
Nope.
Buys a plane ticket. She's
Nope.
like, come home with me. We'll be together. Flies across the ocean. Plane touches down. As they're getting off the plane, she looks at him and goes, we can't be together. I'm sorry.
Perfect.
And leaves my man stuck in a foreign country
Oof.
with no backup.
Could you imagine?
Let me tell you what my man did. My man's a champ. My man was there for a year.
Couldn't even turn around.
Listen, my man was there for a year, right? And I remember getting a phone call. He's like, man, this is what went down. Can you send me some money? We're like, bro, I don't even know where to send it to. You don't even have a residence.
Right.
I can't help you.
Right. Before the days of Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle, Venmo, and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
right? So my man took his meager pennies in his pocket, right? And he went to a record store and bought some records. He got a job sweeping a bar, right? And he started off sweeping the bar. He started cleaning the bar. Then he convinced them to let him DJ.
Oh, my.
And they started DJing with these records that he bought, with his little meager earnings that he brought with him, right?
Oh, my.
Then got kind of popular, started DJing all around while couch surfing, and saved up enough money to come home.
Perfect. I've never gone that far.
That is big fucking balls. That is big balls.
You
The
had
girl
to
was like, sorry, we can't be together.
You had to have
What the fuck? You just got me to fly to a foreign country, and now you're
Oh.
bailing on me.
Nope. See, this is why you shouldn't say dumb shit to people, because they'll be doing some dumb shit. Oh, come home with me. Oh, I will. Don't think that I won't. Some cutie patootie.
Listen, my man was in love.
Right.
And I can't fault him for that.
No, you ask, you shall receive.
My man was in love. But he didn't lay down and die. He didn't crawl to the U.S. consulate. It was like, can you bring me home?
You know what's fucking crazy?
My
to me?
man was like, fuck this. I'll get myself out.
You know what's fucking crazy to me still about this whole online thing and everything? Is that you still meet motherfuckers today who are like, yeah, man, I've got this girl. She lives in South America. We've never met, but she still lives with her mom and she's hoping that she gets to see me soon and says I'm her everything. And I'm like, you are her everything, bro, because you're the only person talking to her that's from a first world country that, you know, has two of the same pair of matching shoes. That's probably why you're her everything. You have a social security number.
That's a fucked up statement.
Bro, come on. Some of these guys got to figure this shit out. Well, she says I'm her everything. Well,
listen,
how many fucking zeros you got on that check?
Listen, the girl he went home with was from a first world country.
Yeah, that's just some teeny bopper love right there.
She just bailed on him on the tarmac. It was
Bro,
like, the plane flight was cool.
that's because
Sorry.
you can't be in love with anybody you just slept with. And everybody learns that rule. Some of us not so much faster than the
No,
others.
but they had been together for a really long time here in the good old U.S. of A.
Oh, I didn't know that part. I thought you were saying he
she
just
came here
met
as an
this
exchange
broad.
student. They hung out for months and months and months, and she's like, I'm in
yeah,
love. You
yeah,
should come
yeah.
home with me. And he's like, this
Oh, yeah.
sounds like a grand adventure.
Yeah, old
Let
girl.
me sell everything I
Listen.
own, get on that fucking plane, and I'll go with you.
Yeah, listen, old girl tried to basically force it and thought she could fucking live through it, and it did not work, is what happened there. Yeah, that's all right. That
As soon
happens.
as they touch
Listen,
down, she's like, sorry. And my man's like, what do you mean you're sorry? Didn't
Feel
speak the
bad.
language. Nothing. And he managed to eke out a year as a fucking DJ
I bet he had a lot of
and
fun.
a bartender.
I bet he learned how to speak a little
of the language,
little
yeah.
of the Deutschland. Just a little.
How did you know that's where it was?
I know everything. Anyways, shameless plug.
But listen, my man's my hero, bro.
Yeah.
That's fucking big baller shit right there.
Right.
He's like, oh, you're gonna jam me up? I got you.
I'm just going to chill.
I'm just gonna chill and become one of the
Listen,
most famous
dude.
DJs in your country.
You have no idea what people will do when you back them into a corner. Just kidding, you do.
My man knows now.
Well, yeah, he learned something a little hefty. So, but still, though, I mean, come on, dude. Third world country. She thinks I'm her everything. She can't wait to visit me. I'm like, bro, she knows you live with her parents, right? Well, she does too. I'm like, yep. You have a match. 2 is what we call a pair. I'm not sure if it's going to be a successful pair, but there are 2 of you, and you do share.
Listen, you can't throw any shade, my man.
No, I'm not.
I only knew a girl online.
I
flew across the country and moved in with her and her parents.
No, I didn't fly. I made her come pick me up, bro. If I got to buy you a drink, you can't afford me. We've been over this. No, I told her. I was like, listen, I don't have any money to waste on you. You have to come get me.
So she got you and then took you back across country.
She made her mom come and get me, bro.
How far away? What was the distance here?
Like 9 hours.
Her mom drove 9 hours.
Yeah.
To pick you up.
Yeah. People will do crazy shit. People will do crazy shit. And listen, I just watch. I'm like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not going to do it, but I will watch you. You know that. I'm down. So, anyways, but you know what?
How hard is it to believe that somebody would fly to Texas to go to a funeral for somebody they barely knew in search of a story?
And then fucking turn it into a business? That's the most fucked up shit I ever heard. Exploit the shit out of your death. That's horrible.
You don't think people do modern variations of this all the time?
Oh, I have no fucking doubt. I have no fucking doubt.
Look, the world exploits death all the time.
Dude, I saw some fucking Karen the other day tail follow, like bumper follow somebody through a fucking 4-way stop because she didn't feel like stopping. I'm like, bro, you're the kind of person that would fly to the funeral to get a story. That's...
How do you equate the two?
Because you're a fucking idiot and you don't care about anything else. You just do whatever the fuck you want.
Okay. That
dude's a piece of shit. Or he could have... Well, we can't say it because it'll give the spoiler of the movie away.
No spoiler alerts.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying is, bro, you're a piece of shit. You went in there with the intent to look for gold. You're gold digging on the broad's death and letting the family who thinks you're part of the family, letting them believe that.
Is the end result of what he's attempting to do to boost his own position, or is it to bring some kind of closure to the family?
Oh, come on. My guy, listen, if you start off bad, that's the number one. I don't care if you add more in later. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, it's the same way in tracking.
I'm gonna.
If the person goes into the woods this direction, no matter what you do, all you got to do is go to the opposite side of the woods in the direction they're going, and that's where they're going to come out.
You can't rob a bank and go buy 5 Ferraris and then give a little bit to some fucking donation thing and say you're a good person. You already bought 5 Ferraris, guy.
So what if they robbed the bank and gave all the money to the donation?
Well, then you're Robin Hood and looking to get fucking put up because you're trying to go to prison. That's a lot of work for some charity.
All right.
I like it, though. But it's a lot of work for some charity. We should get into that.
No.
Who wants to fund that team?
What, the bank robbing?
100% charity, guys.
Yeah. It's all going to charity.
You can't arrest us. This is all for charity.
Right.
It's donations. They'll be like, you're under arrest for what? Robbing them. I wasn't even going to use it, though. So technically, I didn't rob them. I'm just passing it on. You can't rob me for being a messenger.
You're just relocating?
Right. Exactly. We're a relocation service. We take from the rich and give to the poor.
Okay.
We should start doing that.
No? I'm out. I'm out.
We already have the masks.
Look, I value my freedom too much to be involved in a relocation service. If you want to be a relocation service, why don't you start 2 men and three men in a truck?
Right.
Instead of 2 men in a truck, start 3 men in a truck.
I'm starting 2 men in a sub. Maybe 1 man in a sub, actually. Now that I know I have to.
Then why don't you just have a goddamn ROV and say fuck it?
Oh my. Listen.
Hey, we're going to take you out in the middle of the ocean. We're going to send an ROV down and you get to watch the screen on the ROV. That's a hell of a lot safer.
That literally, no. We just can't even go over that. Let's get back to the movie. Listen, it was a phenomenal movie. And let's talk about my guy, Ashton Kutcher, because you brought it up earlier. Dude, he really, I'm not one of those people that tells other people they're bad actors, but I'm starting to see some bad acting. Finally.
All right.
Like, there's some dudes that I'm like, how come you're the same person in every fucking movie? And Ashton might be one of them.
He might be.
He always plays a dork. Has he had any serious roles? This was kind of a serious role. Actually, I would say this was a serious role, but legitimate.
He was in a serious role when he was married to Demi.
Yeah. I'd take my girl serious too.
That was a serious role.
I'd be all over that. That was his most serious role. That's the most we can take him serious for is that.
Is being married to Demi Moore. Like, what, Steve, my man must have been suave.
Oh, he is.
I mean, come on, you landed Demi Moore, but look at Demi Moore's taste in men.
Why, who was she with before?
Bruce Willis.
Ooh, Ashton's an upgrade. But
Bruce says their daughter as well.
Oh.
His daughter straight up looks like Bruce Willis. Her daughter looks like Bruce Willis.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The female version of Bruce Willis.
Ooh. Oh, that's not good. How's that look?
I think her name's like Beulah too, or something like that.
Perfect. Good
Google it right now.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be bagging on my man.
That threw me off. What were we going for? Well, okay, again,
Ashton's most serious role.
Does he have any good roles? Okay, The Butterfly Effect was a great movie. Did you watch that one?
No, I have not.
You've never seen The Butterfly Effect?
Never.
Are you kidding?
No.
Have you seen that movie Memento or whatever it is?
Yes, I have seen
the one where a dude tattoos himself.
Yes.
Like all the time. Puts weird fucking thing. You need to watch Butterfly Effect.
And who starred in that movie?
Oh, Pierce. Why? What's wrong with Pierce?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
But
do we not like him?
No. Never mind. I was thinking of somebody else. Anyway.
Who is it? So it's Bruce Willis' daughter, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Drum roll. Whoa. Yeah.
Dude, and that's shameful. Nobody should be talking about other people's genetics because I don't have the greatest genetics myself. But I'm just saying, there are strong genetic lines, and there are strong genetic lines in that family.
I mean, this one is that her? She doesn't look that bad right there. But then right there, you can just tell right there.
No, that's no. Hold on. I mean, now I got to find the picture. God damn it! You've ruined this for me.
This one though, is that? That's all right. Well, enough of this. We don't care about stars anyways, unless it's Steven.
Oh,
Steven,
do you really even care about that one?
Somebody call Steven. We got to find the Titanic.
Was her name Beulah?
Oh, I didn't even see her name. I was too busy looking at the silliness of the pictures. So dude shows up, listen, exploiting death for your personal fucking gain. Come on, man. That's what's happening. He tried to make a podcast story out of somebody else. He tried to use somebody else's story of the crime in question and turn it into something that would be beneficial to put himself ahead.
Okay.
That's not good, bro. It's like picking up girls at a funeral. Doesn't matter how easy it is. It shouldn't be done. You know that's true.
Well, I'm not going to say it's not a thing. But
exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's not a thing.
I'm saying it shouldn't be a thing. Listen, while my partner looks up the Bruce Willis love of his life, make sure you guys go leave a 5-star rating for the podcast, that you tell them that you love it, that you tell your moms, your cousin, your aunties, your uncles, tell everybody, especially if they like silly stuff. You still on that? He's still on it. He can't let it go. What are we doing here? Is that her? Yeah, so that is her right there in the demon picture. She's got like the demon brows.
Dude,
bro, she'll send you on a fucking Titanic tour by yourself.
There's a strong genetic line. Anyway.
Yeah.
Totally off subject.
You love it though, don't you?
Great movie.
Listen, I liked it.
Check it out.
It's fucked up.
Write the show.
Let us know.
Let us know what you think about it.
We're going to get out of here.
All right. 30,
We're gonna get outta
97
here
seconds.
because we don't need it. No sub visits.
No, none
no
of that.
Titanic visits.
None of that.
Yeah. 30, 97 seconds.